Tyrannosaurus Rex, the rock star of dinosaurs. If extinction had a hall of fame, T-Rex would have its own wing, complete with merchandise and a documentary deal. 6 tons of pure nightmare fuel, with teeth the size of bananas and a bite force that could crush a car. Basically, nature's way of saying, I can do whatever I want. For 2 million years, it ruled North America like a scaly landlord collecting rent in blood. But here's the twist. Those tiny arms everyone mocks, they weren't useless. Scientists think they helped T-Rex get up from lying down, held on to prey, or maybe just scratch that one spot on its back. Disappointing theories for such legendary limbs. And despite what Jurassic Park taught us, T-Rex probably couldn't run 30 miles per hour. More like a terrifying speed walk at 12-17 miles per hour. Still fast enough to ruin your day, just with less cardio. The real power was in the head. That skull was a biological battering ram, built to crush bone and tear through Triceratops armor like it was bubble wrap. And it wasn't a mindless monster. T-Rex had excellent vision, better than an eagle's, and a sense of smell that could track dying prey from miles away. A genius predator wrapped in scales and bad PR. From museum centerpieces to movie franchises, T-Rex never left. It went extinct 66 million years ago and still gets more screen time than most actors. Now that's star power. Spinosaurus, the dinosaur that couldn't decide what it wanted to be. Part crocodile, part sailboat, all confusion. At 50 feet long and 7 tons, it was bigger than T-Rex. But instead of dominating the land, Spinosaurus said, "Actually, I prefer the water." The first semi-aquatic dinosaur ever discovered, and honestly, the fossil record is still trying to figure out what it was doing. That massive sail on its back? Still debated. Some say temperature regulation. Others think mating display. A few bold scientists suggest it was a fat storage hump like a camel's. Imagine being the apex predator of ancient Africa, and your most famous feature is basically a question mark. Spinosaurus didn't hunt like other predators. It waded into rivers, snatching giant fish with crocodile-like jaws full of conical teeth. Not built for crushing bone, but perfect for gripping slippery prey. It was the heron of dinosaurs, just supersized and infinitely scarier. But here's the tragedy. Most of what we knew came from one fossil, and it was destroyed in World War II during a bombing raid in Munich. Science's greatest oops moment. Decades later, new fossils revealed even weirder details. Dense bones for diving, short legs, paddle-like feet. This thing swam. And suddenly, Spinosaurus went from land predator to river monster, rewriting everything we thought we knew. It never fought T-Rex. They lived on different continents, millions of years apart. But Spinosaurus didn't need the rivalry. It carved its own niche, became its own legend, and left paleontologists arguing over its lifestyle like it's a celebrity scandal. Respect the sail. Fear the fish eater. Smilodon, the saber-toothed cat that made fangs a whole personality. Those iconic teeth up to 11 inches long weren't just for show. They were precision kill tools, designed to slice through the throats of Ice Age megafauna. One clean stab, and dinner was served. No chewing, no chasing, just efficiency with style. But those fangs came with a catch. They were fragile. One wrong bite into bone, and Smilodon was stuck with a broken tooth and a serious survival problem. So it hunted smart ambush predator, targeting the soft parts, avoiding risky kills. Calculated, not reckless. Smilodon wasn't a lone wolf either. Fossil evidence suggests they lived and hunted in packs, working together to bring down giant ground sloths, bison, and young mammoths. Teamwork makes the dream work, even 10,000 years ago. And despite the name, saber-toothed tiger is a lie. Smilodon wasn't closely related to modern tigers or lions. It was its own branch of the cat family tree, one that evolution eventually pruned. When the Ice Age megafauna died out, so did Smilodon. Specialist predators don't adapt well to change. No giant prey, no saber-toothed cats. but the legacy lived on. It never roared, science says its vocal cords couldn't. So it stalked in silence, killed with precision, and disappeared without a sound. Poetic, really. The Ice Age's most iconic hunter, gone but never forgotten. Giganotosaurus, the dinosaur that said T-Rex who, slightly longer, possibly heavier, and definitely more obscure until Jurassic World decided to make it a problem. Native to Argentina, Giganotosaurus prowled South America 97 million years ago. A full 30 million years before T-Rex even showed up. It didn't need to share the spotlight because it had its own continent to terrorize. At 43 feet long and up to 8 tons, Giganotosaurus had a slimmer build than T-Rex but longer arms and a more agile frame. Think less tank, more pursuit predator. Its teeth weren't designed to crush, they were thin, blade-like, meant for slicing. Death by 1,000 cuts. Perfect for taking down the massive sauropods that roamed its territory, like Argentinosaurus, the largest land animal ever. Taking down a 100-ton herbivore wasn't a solo job. Evidence suggests Giganotosaurus might have hunted in packs, coordinating attacks like prehistoric wolves, strategy over brute force. But here's the kicker. Giganotosaurus had a smaller brain than T-Rex. Not dumb, just less processing power. It didn't need to be a genius. It was big, fast, and had backup. That's enough. The name means giant southern lizard. And honestly, it's not creative, but it's accurate. No flair, no mystery, just a straightforward, I'm huge and I live down south. And yet, it worked. Giganotosaurus carved out its place in history, got its own movie villain arc, and reminded everyone that South America had its own monsters. T-Rex ruled the north, but Giganotosaurus owned the south. Different kingdoms, same carnage. Velociraptor, the dinosaur that Hollywood made famous and science made small. In the movies, they're 6-foot-tall killing machines, hunting in packs, outsmarting humans. In reality, turkey-sized, feathered, and probably chirping. Still deadly, just less cinematic. At about 3 feet tall and 6 feet long, mostly tail, Velociraptor was built for speed and agility, not brute force. It had a sickle-shaped claw on each foot, its signature weapon. One swift kick could slash open prey or pin it down while Velociraptor used its jaws to finish the job. Brutal efficiency in a compact package. But the clever girl reputation? Debatable. Velociraptor had a decent brain for its size, but it wasn't scheming or opening doors. It was a predator with good instincts, not a feathered philosopher. And those packs from Jurassic Park? Pure fiction. Most fossils suggest Velociraptor was a solitary hunter, or at best, hunted in loose groups. No coordinated tactics, no pack hierarchy. Just opportunistic carnivores doing their thing. The most famous Velociraptor fossil is the fighting dinosaurs, a Velociraptor locked in combat with a Protoceratops, both frozen mid-battle, preserved for 75 million years. One predator, one herbivore, eternal struggle. It's the paleontological equivalent of a freeze frame on an action scene. So why does Velociraptor dominate pop culture? Because the real star of Jurassic Park should have been Deinonychus, a larger raptor from North America. But Velociraptor sounded cooler, so Hollywood ran with it. Science took the back seat, branding took the wheel, and honestly, it worked. Megalania, the lizard that Australia forgot to mention in its tourism brochures. At 18 to 23 feet long and weighing up to 1,300 pounds, Megalania was the largest venomous land predator ever. Yes, venomous. Not just big, not just scary, actively poisonous. Its closest living relative is the Komodo dragon, and if you think those are bad, Megalania was the nightmare upgrade. It roamed Australia until about 40,000 years ago, overlapping with early humans. Imagine migrating to a new continent and discovering a car-sized lizard with venom and an attitude. Welcome to Australia, where even extinction didn't happen fast enough. Megalania's venom wasn't fast-acting. It didn't drop prey instantly. Instead, it caused blood loss, shock, and infection. A slow, agonizing death. One bite, then Megalania just followed, waiting for its meal to collapse. Patience and poison nature's cruelest combo. And it didn't need to chase. With a stride that covered massive ground and an ambush style, Megalania hunted large marsupials, giant kangaroos, and possibly even early humans. Some Aboriginal oral traditions describe giant lizards, and scientists think they might be cultural memories of Megalania. But why did it go extinct? Climate change, human hunting, or both? As Australia dried out and megafauna disappeared, Megalania lost its food supply. And unlike smaller reptiles, it couldn't adapt quickly. Specialist predators rarely survive drastic change. So Megalania faded into fossil records, leaving behind only bones, stories, and the terrifying knowledge that giant venomous lizards once patrolled the outback.